Davis Cole adjusted his glasses as he walked down the busy avenue, the cool breeze ruffling his tousled hair. The street bustled with life. Laughter mingled with the sounds of honking cars and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafted from nearby cafes. Today was special. He had promised his wife, Margaret, a surprise gift to celebrate their 13th anniversary. Davis was an engineer, skilled and accomplished, but he often felt out of place in the world of high fashion. With his neatly combed hair and meticulously maintained glasses, he embodied the archetype of a practical thinker. Yet today he was out of his element. He wore a simple navy sweater and khakis, a far cry from the tailored suits and designer handbags that adorned the patrons of the upscale boutiques lining the street. The contrast was stark. Women glided past in luxurious dresses, while men exuded an air of sophistication in their fitted blazers. Each step Davis took felt heavier than the last, as he adjusted to the reality of a world where appearance often overshadowed substance. Despite his discomfort, there was a fire in his heart, fueled by a singular purpose. He had saved up for this moment, sacrificing small indulgences and redirecting his energy into this mission. To find something exquisite for Margaret. She was the light of his life, the one person who truly understood him beyond the numbers and equations. Her laughter was a melody that brought color to his otherwise analytical existence, and he wanted to honor that bond with a gift that spoke to her vibrant spirit. As he moved past displays filled with silk scarves and leather accessories, Davis's eyes were drawn to a small boutique nestled between larger, more imposing stores. The windows showcased a delicate necklace, its design both elegant and understated, just like Margaret. With a deep breath, he stepped inside, the chime of the bell above the door announcing his presence. The shop was filled with an aura of creativity, a stark contrast to the rigid lines of engineering diagrams. Here, artistry met craftsmanship, and for a fleeting moment, Davis felt a connection to this world that seemed so foreign. He approached the counter, determined to find a piece that would capture Margaret's essence and, in turn, solidify his place in her heart. He approached La Belle Époque, a boutique renowned for its elegant jewelry. A delicate bell chimed as he entered, its sound a contrast to the atmosphere that felt more like an exclusive gallery than a shop. Rows of shimmering bracelets, necklaces, and earrings sparkled under the soft lighting, inviting him to explore. As he stepped inside, however, a tall woman with sharp features and an impeccably styled bob, the boutique manager, eyed him skeptically. Her expression shifted to one of disdain when she noticed his casual attire. With her arms crossed, she approached him, her heels clicking sharply against the polished floor. "Can I help you?" she asked, her tone dismissive. "I'm looking for a gift for my wife," Davis replied, his calm demeanor unshaken. "Right," she scoffed. "Do you even know how much these pieces cost? Perhaps you should stick to the clearance aisle." Davis felt a flush rise in his cheeks, but held his ground. "I have a budget in mind. I just want something special." She raised an eyebrow, clearly unimpressed. "Let me know if you need help, although I doubt you'd be able to afford anything in here." With that, she turned away, leaving him standing in a sea of glimmering jewels. Undeterred, Davis scanned the displays, his fingers brushing over a delicate silver bracelet encrusted with tiny sapphires. It was exactly what he envisioned for Margaret, something that captured both elegance and a touch of whimsy. He walked to the front to ask for help, but the manager had returned to her desk, now chatting animatedly with a well-dressed couple. Davis took a deep breath and approached the couple, hoping to get their attention. Just as he was about to speak, the manager interrupted. "Excuse me, sir. I believe you're in the wrong place. This is a boutique for people with discerning taste. I just want to buy this bracelet," he insisted. Holding it up, the manager scoffed again. "You're really going to make a scene over this? You're not serious, are you? I'll have to call security." Panic shot through Davis. The atmosphere thickened with tension as he looked around, feeling the weight of judgment bearing down on him. He could feel the heat rising to his face, not from embarrassment, but from indignation. "There's no need for that. I simply want to purchase this item. Ignoring him, the manager pulled out her phone and dialed security. Davis felt as if the world around him had come to a standstill. The laughter, the chatter, everything faded into a blur. A few patrons turned to watch, their curiosity piqued by the commotion. Just then, the bell chimed again, announcing the arrival of a new figure. Mr. William Trump, the store owner, strode in, a broad smile on his face. He was a man in his late 50s, distinguished with silver hair and a tailored suit that radiated success. "What's going on here?" he inquired, his eyes scanning the room. The manager quickly filled him in, embellishing the story with exaggerated details. "This man," she gestured at Davis, "is causing a scene. I had to call security." Mr. Trump's expression shifted, his smile fading as he turned to Davis. "Is that true?" Davis took a deep breath, his voice steady but quiet. "I came in to buy a gift for my wife, but I was treated with disdain based on my appearance and assumed financial status." Mr. Trump's eyes narrowed as he absorbed the situation. "Is that so? I was not aware that we had a policy of prejudice in this boutique." The manager stammered, but "I don't need to hear excuses," Mr. Trump interjected. He stepped closer to Davis, extending his hand. "I apologize for the treatment you received. It's unacceptable, and I assure you it will be addressed." Davis, taken aback by the owner's sincerity, shook his hand. "Thank you. I appreciate that. I've heard of you, Mr. Cole," Mr. Trump continued, his tone shifting to one of respect. "Your reputation as an engineer precedes you. What can I do to make this right?" "I simply wanted to buy a bracelet for my wife," Davis said, feeling a warmth spread through him. "This one caught my eye." He held it up again, the silver and sapphires reflecting the boutique's lights beautifully. "Consider it a gift," Mr. Trump said, nodding toward the manager. "And I want to apologize publicly for her behavior. You deserve better than that." The manager looked as if she had swallowed a lemon, but Mr. Trump turned back to her. "I'll also be terminating your employment. We don't tolerate discrimination here. We'll be implementing bias training and focusing on inclusivity moving forward." The tension in the air began to dissipate as a few patrons nodded in agreement, murmuring support for Mr. Trump's decision. As Davis walked out of the boutique with the bracelet securely wrapped in a velvet box, he felt a mix of relief and lingering frustration. It was a beautiful piece, but the experience had left an indelible mark on his heart. Margaret would be thrilled, but Davis couldn't shake the feeling that this incident was just a reflection of a larger societal issue. Prejudice based on appearance, income, or background could manifest anywhere, even in a place meant for beauty and celebration. Back home, he found Margaret in the kitchen, her laughter echoing as she experimented with a new recipe. The aroma of spices filled the air, and he couldn't help but smile at the warmth of their home. "Hey, I have a surprise for you," he announced, pulling the bracelet from its box. "Oh, Davis," she gasped, her eyes lighting up as she took the bracelet from him. "It's stunning. You really didn't have to." "I wanted to," he replied, pulling her into a gentle embrace. "You deserve to be treated like royalty." As they sat down to dinner, he couldn't shake the thought of the manager's assumptions. He shared the story with Margaret, who listened intently, her expression shifting from amusement to concern. "That's awful," she said. "People can be so quick to judge." "It's infuriating." "It is," Davis agreed. "But I think it also highlights the importance of making a change, not just for ourselves, but for others too. We can't let this kind of prejudice continue." Margaret nodded thoughtfully, her fingers delicately tracing the bracelet. "What can we do?" Over the following weeks, Davis found himself increasingly involved in discussions about inclusivity and social awareness. He and Margaret began attending community meetings focused on these topics, sharing their experiences and advocating for change. Davis also reached out to Mr. Trump, suggesting that the boutique could host events to raise awareness about discrimination, creating a platform for local artists and voices from diverse backgrounds. Mr. Trump was enthusiastic, welcoming the idea and offering his support. As the first event approached, excitement buzzed in the air. The boutique transformed into a gallery showcasing art that celebrated diversity and unity, with stories shared through spoken word and music. The community gathered, filled with laughter and conversation, an echo of what Davis had hoped for, a space free from judgment and prejudice. Davis stood at the back, watching Margaret mingle with guests, her smile contagious. In that moment, he felt a sense of purpose. They were not just witnesses to societal issues. They were becoming catalysts for change. As the night drew to a close, Mr. Trump approached Davis. "Thank you for believing in this initiative," he said, sincerity in his eyes. "It's people like you who can make a real difference." Davis smiled, feeling a renewed sense of hope. "We all have a role to play. It's about creating a culture of acceptance, one gesture at a time." Months passed, and the events became a regular occurrence at La Belle Époque. The boutique transformed not only its interior but also its ethos, emphasizing inclusivity and community engagement. Davis and Margaret found themselves at the forefront, organizing discussions and supporting local talent. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the city, Davis sat with Margaret on their porch. They reflected on the journey they had embarked upon together, acknowledging both the struggles and triumphs. "I never would have imagined that one unfortunate encounter could lead to such change," Davis mused, his gaze thoughtful. "It's incredible how a simple act of kindness can create ripples." Margaret squeezed his hand, her eyes shining. "You stood up for yourself that day, Davis. You showed the importance of self-worth. That's what inspires others. And what we've built together, the conversations we've started. This is just the beginning," he said, a sense of determination igniting within him. The couple fell into a comfortable silence, knowing that while the path ahead would not always be easy, it would be worth it. The world around them was filled with both subtle and overt biases, often dividing people based on race, gender, sexual orientation, and countless other differences. Yet, they found strength in their shared mission to challenge these biases and cultivate an inclusive community that celebrated the rich tapestry of human diversity rather than shying away from it. As they sat together, the weight of their resolve pressed down gently, yet firmly, like the roots of a tree anchored against the fiercest winds. They envisioned gatherings filled with laughter, shared stories, and deep connections, where people could come together to learn from one another's experiences. This vision wasn't just a dream. It was a commitment to action, a promise to build bridges where there were once walls. Each conversation they had, each initiative they planned, served as a stepping stone toward a larger goal: to create a space where every voice mattered, where every person felt valued and understood. They recognized that the journey would be fraught with challenges: resistance from those comfortable in their biases, logistical hurdles, and the ever-looming threat of burnout. But with each obstacle, they drew strength from their partnership and the community they aspired to nurture. The couple understood that fostering change would require patience, empathy, and unwavering dedication. They would need to educate themselves continuously, listen actively, and encourage dialogue among diverse groups. Together, they embraced the discomfort of these conversations, knowing that growth often stemmed from stepping outside one's comfort zone. As they shared this vision, they felt a spark of hope ignite within them, reassuring them that every small action could ripple outwards, ultimately creating a lasting impact in the world. As the seasons changed and the vibrant tapestry of nature shifted from the warmth of summer to the crispness of autumn, La Belle Époque continued to flourish, emerging as a dynamic hub of creativity and connection within the community. The spirit of innovation and artistic expression permeated the air, drawing people from diverse backgrounds together to share ideas, collaborate on projects, and celebrate the rich tapestry of culture that surrounded them. Davis and Margaret played a pivotal role in this blossoming environment, channeling their passion for the arts into meaningful initiatives that left a lasting impact on the community. Their commitment to fostering creativity led to the establishment of partnerships with local schools, where they worked closely with educators to integrate arts education into the curriculum. This collaboration not only enriched the students' learning experiences, but also ignited a passion for creativity in young minds, encouraging them to explore their artistic potential. In addition to their work with schools, Davis and Margaret organized workshops specifically designed for aspiring young artists. These workshops provided a nurturing space for participants to hone their skills, experiment with different mediums, and gain invaluable insights from experienced professionals in the field. Each session became a vibrant exchange of ideas, where creativity flourished and friendships blossomed among participants who shared a common love for the arts. Moreover, Davis and Margaret were deeply committed to mentoring individuals from underrepresented backgrounds, recognizing the importance of inclusivity and diversity in the artistic community. They actively sought out emerging talents who may have lacked access to resources or opportunities and provided guidance, support, and encouragement. Through personalized mentorship, they helped these artists navigate the challenges of the creative landscape, empowering them to find their voices and share their unique stories with the world. As La Belle Époque continued to thrive, it became a beacon of hope and inspiration, reminding everyone of the transformative power of art. The collective efforts of Davis, Margaret, and the community forged a legacy of creativity, connection, and empowerment, ensuring that the spirit of La Belle Époque would endure for generations to come. The bracelet Davis had gifted Margaret remained a symbol of their journey, a testament to resilience and love that transcended superficial judgments. Every time she wore it, she was reminded of the beauty that lay beneath the surface and the strength that comes from unity. In the years to come, Davis and Margaret found themselves sharing their story with others, becoming advocates for inclusivity and understanding. They inspired countless individuals to embrace their uniqueness and stand up against prejudice. In a world often marred by division, they learned that change began with a single act of kindness, a gesture that could alter lives, create connections, and foster a community bound by acceptance and love. Their journey was a reminder that it is not the appearance that defines worth, but the character that shines from within. And as long as there were stories to share and hearts to connect, the legacy of compassion and understanding would endure, resonating far beyond the walls of a boutique.